Did you notice that Bolin, who remains at the top of the leaderboard, does not have a score that is a multiple of 10? This indicates that even someone as strong as Bolin couldn't defeat all the targets in the first tower, showcasing the challenge's difficulty. Unfortunately, the production team did not show the epic scene where Bolin creates nearly 1,000 illusions in the 7th level. However, the production quality of episode 138 is still impressive. So, after the training space selection concludes and the top 7,300 contestants with the highest scores are determined, what exciting moments await next? Notably, the top 100 contestants with the highest total scores will automatically qualify as core members of Virtual Universe Company and won't need to participate in the second round of selection. The remaining 7,200 contestants will engage in one-on-one battles, with each contestant needing to win 3 consecutive matches to secure one of the 900 remaining spots. Unlike the first phase of the selection tournament, the system will match contestants based on their performance in the training space and overall strength rather than randomly pairing them. This avoids the awkward scenario of stronger contestants being matched against each other or weaker contestants facing each other, which could result in weaker contestants advancing and stronger ones being eliminated. Of course, the top 1,000 contestants who are selected as core members of Virtual Universe Company may not necessarily be the absolute strongest. For example, there may not be a significant difference in strength between contestants ranked 900 to 1,000 and those ranked 1,001 to 2,000 who were eliminated. Unfortunately, there are only 1,000 spots, so not everyone can be chosen. The system's priority is to ensure that the contestants who are clearly stronger make it through. Without a doubt, the most attention-grabbing contestant in the second round is Gillespie. Even contestants who have already secured their spots in the top 100 as core members are closely watching Gillespie's every match, as they know that, besides Bolin, no one is confident of defeating Gillespie. Previously, Gillespie had a relatively low score because he couldn't fully unleash his strength during the training space selection. In the third tower, the metal lifeforms, and in the fifth tower, the automaton puppets, have no souls, rendering his soul-targeting illusions ineffective and limiting his abilities. However, in the second round, all the contestants are human and have souls. Given the relatively weak willpower of star-level warriors, few can resist Gillespie's illusions. As a result, Gillespie easily advanced in the second round, with none of his opponents able to stop him. After selecting the 1,000 core members for Virtual Universe Company, an internal tournament will follow. You might wonder, if the spots have already been filled, why continue with the tournament? The reason is that although all core members, their statuses are ranked in tiers. The company divides its geniuses into 4 tiers before they reach immortality, with higher tiers granting more privileges and rewards. Note that not all contestants are eligible to compete for their internal ranking. Instead, the system selects the top 100 from the second round winners, based on overall performance, to face off in one-on-one battles against the 100 contestants with the highest scores in the training space. The losers of these matches will join the other contestants as the lowest-ranked members. This system has frustrated some contestants, with several filing complaints. They believe it's unfair that they aren't even given a chance to compete for a higher rank, especially since they are all first-place geniuses in their respective universe countries. They argue that it's only right to protest. However, they fail to realize that Virtual Universe Company is filled with geniuses, and they are not the strongest ones. Moreover, Virtual Universe is not just the cutting-edge technology it appears to be on the surface. The company's top executives would never alter decisions to suit them. The aura from the immortal beings quickly forces these discontented contestants to back down. They have only 2 options, that is, either accept the company's decision or withdraw from the tournament. This reminds one of a common saying in real life: the boss is always right. It's unfortunate that we, as employees, have no power to resist. Of course, there are many good bosses in the world. If you've had a good boss, feel free to raise your hand in the comments. In the first duel, Feng faces off against a sword-wielding warrior whose weapon is a 5th-tier genetic weapon. By combining his weapon with the original law of wind, he creates a barrage of sword lights that engulf Feng. However, Feng has already grasped the basics of the original law of space, and using the second level of his myriad line flow technique, 9-line flow, he deftly avoids all the attacks with his flexible movement. Naturally, all contestants have hidden trump cards, and this swordsman is no exception. He uses a small sword as a concealed weapon, merging the original law of wind into his attack. Thanks to the law's properties, the sword flies toward Feng at incredible speed. However, Feng remains calm and ultimately counters, killing the swordsman. After the first duel, the system quickly selects the 20 best performing contestants from the 100 winners for the next round of battles, while the 10 defeated warriors join the remaining 80 as universe members. In this round, Bolin finishes his match in record time, showing a huge gap between him and the others. Additionally, there are two matches I am eagerly anticipating, Rongjun vs Gu Si Luo and Luo Feng vs Gillespie. It's worth mentioning that Gu Si Luo, who placed second in the training space selection, is considered a nearly perfect controller among spiritual masters. As a result, many, including other contestants and even the immortal spectators, don't have high hopes for Rongjun. After all, Gu Si Luo is seen as the only contestant capable of challenging Bolin, while Rongjun is just someone with a chance to break into the top 20. Based on their rankings, Rongjun seems destined to lose. What's more, warriors are generally at a disadvantage against spiritual masters, as they have no chance of victory if they can't get close. However, what they don't know is that Rongjun has been hiding his true strength all along. No one has forced him to use his trump card, which is a blade technique as powerful as splitting mountains and seas. Even so, Rongjun takes the longest time in this duel to secure his victory. Meanwhile, although those immortals believe that both Luo Feng and Gillespie have the strength to reach the top 10, they still favor Gillespie. They are aware of the terrifying nature of illusions. Once a warrior unknowingly suffers from a soul attack integrated into an illusion, even if they realize they're in a dreamscape, it's almost impossible for a star-level warrior to wake up quickly. In that brief period, the illusionist can use spirit weapons to kill their opponent. Of course, if a warrior's mastery of the original law rivals that of Bolin, they might be able to resist Gillespie's illusions through the power of the will from original law. Unfortunately, Luo Feng's achievement in the original law is far from Bolin's level. When Gillespie unleashes his illusions and spirit weapon to attack Luo Feng, many believe the outcome of the duel is inevitable. What they don't know is that Luo Feng not only has strong willpower but also has the Void Tower protecting his soul. At the critical moment, Luo Feng wakes up and quickly defends and dodges. Despite sustaining some injuries, he ultimately kills Gillespie, leaving the immortal spectators in awe. Are you curious why the virtual universe system would arrange matches between contestants who are all ranked in the top 10 in terms of strength? Based on my analysis, aside from Bolin, there isn't a significant difference in the strength of contestants like Gu Si Luo, Rongjun, Gillespie, Luo Feng, and others considered to be in the top 10. Therefore, no matter how the battles are arranged, it's difficult to avoid the suppression caused by martial attributes. For instance, Gillespie has a higher chance of winning against Rongjun, while Luo Feng might not be able to surpass Gu Si Luo in terms of spirit control. It is important to note that the Virtual Universe Company aims to cultivate talent to enhance the strength of the human race in resisting external threats. Their true enemies are not the human contestants but rather the external races that are lurking. What use is Gillespie's strong illusion skills? His true enemies aren't humans with souls but the soulless automaton race or the specially souled Zerg race. Of course, there are many alien races that have souls. Therefore, if Gillespie could defeat Luo Feng, who has extraordinary willpower, the Virtual Universe Company would be more willing to invest in him. On the other hand, if Luo Feng can resist illusions at a young age, he is even more worth the investment because the stronger one's willpower, the higher one's potential achievements. Likewise, if Rongjun could break through the suppression of attributes, he would also be given better cultivation resources. Lastly, it's worth mentioning that the status of a core member in the Virtual Universe Company is not fixed. Once your cultivation speed is surpassed by others, your status and rank could be replaced. For example, there are qualification battles set at the universe level, domain master level, and world master level. After the second round duels conclude, the third round of duels will soon begin. Surprisingly, this round is also arranged by the Virtual Universe Company, and matchups are based on how much time the winners took in the previous round. As a result, Rongjun, who took the longest time, will face Bolin, who finished the fastest. Unsurprisingly, Bolin won the match, and the outcome was decisive. In previous episodes, whenever we saw contestants evaluated as having top 10 strength, Luo Feng would always check their data. After all, knowing your enemy is crucial in preparing for a match. This is also why many contestants hide their true strength because when strengths are similar, having a trump card is often key to winning. Of course, if one's strength far exceeds the other contestants, there's no need to hide any longer. When the gap is too wide, exposing one's strength won't matter much since the opponent's preparations would be futile. For example, Bolin doesn't need to deliberately hide his power. Luo Feng's opponent, Long Yun, is a contestant who has hidden his strength the most. In everyone's eyes, Long Yun's performance wasn't outstanding, and he even seemed to struggle when competing for a spot in the top 10. However, once the battle began, Luo Feng immediately realized that Long Yun was a tricky opponent. In Luo Feng's collected data, Long Yun only mastered the law of Earth and wasn't seen as a master capable of perfectly merging the Earth domain with the space domain. In reality, the fact that Long Yun could break into the top 10 using his comprehension of the law of Earth alone shows his deep understanding of it, even surpassing Rongjun facing this fusion domain. Luo Feng's attacks were almost ineffective. The heavy nature of the law of Earth enhanced the defense of Long Yun's Earth domain, and when combined with the space domain, it created a barrier around Long Yun, making the space around him feel sluggish. This caused Luo Feng's phantom sword to be obstructed layer by layer, diminishing its power and preventing it from causing damage. In this predicament, Luo Feng had no choice but to go all out. At long last, we saw the second form of Yenshin armament, Sky Piercer. With Sky Piercer, Luo Feng could clash head-on with a golden horned beast of the same level, and even suppress it, demonstrating the technique's immense power. However, this was assuming the golden horned beast had not evolved for an extended period like Luo Feng's clone, which was evolving through the best metal combinations and training tirelessly. Unfortunately, Long Yun's defense was just too strong, even Sky Piercer's massive power was weakened. Long Yun, wielding a giant axe, further strengthened his defense, rendering the damage from Sky Piercer almost negligible. If the match had no time limit, Luo Feng might have won. After all, the shockwaves from Sky Piercer, even after being weakened, could still injure Long Yun. Over time, minor injuries could escalate into serious ones. Moreover, Long Yun, under the pressure of Sky Piercer, had no means of approaching Luo Feng. When a martial artist can't get close to a spiritual master, they naturally can't deal damage. Unfortunately, the match couldn't exceed 10 minutes. Like in the first phase, the arena gradually shrinks over time. Once Luo Feng was fully enveloped by Long Yun's domain, he lost the space to dodge freely and was ultimately suppressed, losing to Long Yun. As a result, Luo Feng, Rongjun, and other defeated contestants could only become beginning members. Despite this, even as a beginning member, they were assigned a bodyguard team led by a world master. This shows just how prestigious the status of a beginning member is, with a world master acting as a personal guard. In fact, the average strength of this edition's geniuses far surpasses that of many previous editions. Even the previously defeated Gillespie and Gusi Luo, compared to past geniuses, would have still had a chance to fight for the top position. As for Luo Feng, if not for his human body progressing too quickly and having too little training time, he would have been on par with Long Yun in terms of law fusion. Long Yun's achievements in domain fusion far exceeded those of other contestants, giving him incredible defensive power. Even Bolin couldn't match Long Yun in domain suppression, but Bolin's accomplishments in the law of space were too high. It's worth mentioning that when Luo Feng reached the second layer of the myriad line flow technique, 9-line flow, Bolin was already nearing the fourth layer of myriad line flow, 10,000 line flow, which enabled him to unleash astonishing speed in an instant. Before Long Yun could complete his domain fusion, Bolin would likely have reached him and killed him. This shows just how strong Bolin is. After all, even Luo Feng's Sky Piercer, which could suppress a golden horned beast of the same level, couldn't defeat Long Yun within the time limit, whereas Bolin could. This demonstrates that Bolin is stronger than a golden horned beast of the same level, highlighting his extraordinary talent. As a result, the Virtual Universe Company created an additional primordial member spot for Bolin, making him the highest-ranking core member and assigning him a guard team led by an immortal. Returning to the plot, the final showdown will determine the ultimate victor through a winner's bracket format among the third-round winners. Unsurprisingly, Bolin won 4 consecutive victories, and apart from losing to Bolin, Long Yun remained undefeated. Both were thus granted the title of primordial members, marking the conclusion of this genius tournament. I don't know if it's just my illusion, but it feels like the production team is trying to speed up the storyline. Could this be a setup to ensure the release of the Swallowed Star movie sooner? Still, I hope the production team can fully present each of the exciting battles that follow, without cutting anything out. Are you curious about the levels of these geniuses in real life? Although the novel and anime don't provide clear explanations, we can find some clues. For example, Rongjun can defeat a first-tier universe-level opponent in reality. It's important to note that the difference between levels is not just about rank, but also about the difference in life genes. If Rongjun's strength were only at low-tier star level but he could still defeat a universe-level warrior, then he must be a special life form. However, special life forms are often born with World Master-level power. Additionally, Rongjun is a human, so he doesn't belong to the category of special life forms. To defeat a universe-level being, Rongjun would need to be at least a high-tier star-level warrior, especially one near the peak of star-level tier 9 to have a better chance of success. As for other geniuses, we can take Luo Feng as an example and analyze it further. When Luo Feng advanced to universe level, he learned from Wuka that the various universe countries helped their geniuses shorten the time required for energy accumulation. So, what is energy accumulation? To break through from one level to another, like advancing from star level to universe level, involves a leap in life level, which relies entirely on one's own comprehension abilities. But within the same level, going from Tier 1 to Tier 9 is mainly about accumulating energy. As entities that cultivate geniuses, all lords of universe countries believe that relying solely on the genius's ability to absorb cosmic energy is too slow. So, they provide assistance. For instance, Babata had Luo Feng, while he was still at planetary level, use Muya crystal for cultivation, and with sufficient funds, they used an E-grade nutrition cabin to enhance his body. This way, geniuses can focus more on comprehending the original laws without wasting time on energy accumulation. These geniuses, from the beginning of the tournament until now, became core members of the Virtual Universe Company, except for maybe Rongjun and Luo Feng, likely all have immortals as teachers or are cultivated by the lords of universe countries. Although these lords may not be able to provide the same level of resources, something like the nutrition cabin for every core member as the Virtual Universe Company does, they can still support dozens or even hundreds of geniuses. With these resources, they can quickly rise from Tier 1 to Tier 9. For example, Luo Feng, using the E-grade nutrition cabin, went from star level Tier 3 to Tier 9 within 5 to 6 years. Therefore, it's not surprising to say that most of these 1,000 geniuses are high-tier star-level warriors, and more than half may even have Tier 9 star-level strength. It's also worth noting that some martial arts skills at lower levels can't be learned. For instance, Luo Feng, at star level Tier 7 in real life, couldn't perform certain techniques, but in the virtual universe, he could achieve them with Tier 9 star-level mental power, though somewhat clumsily. After all, he didn't have the same level of mental power to train with in real life, so he needed some time to adapt in the virtual universe. And these geniuses' performances in the tournament don't seem like the result of rushed training. After all, it's fair to say the genius battle is both fair and unfair. Because making it this far doesn't just depend on talent, it also involves background, teachers, and even opportunities. Hong, for instance, had talent but lacked luck. Of course, luck is also part of one's strength. What do you think? Well, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching this video. Wish you a wonderful day.